Welcome to Africa Business Reports with me, Komla Dumor. Each month we bring you the biggest stories and the hottest individuals doing business across this great continent. This month we're in my hometown. Welcome to our hot and humid Accra, Ghana. Now I'm standing in front of the Independence Square, which is the traditional home of national celebrations. And there is a real sense of celebration in Ghana right now following the discovery of commercial quantities of oil in the western region of Ghana. But will the black gold really transform the destiny of the Black Star Nation? This is Osu, one of the exciting business districts in the Ghanaian capital, Accra. There's a lot of buying and selling going on, real excitement. You can feel the energy. But the word on the lips of every Ghanaian man and woman right now is oil. But will the black gold live up to expectation? I've been finding out from ordinary people on the streets of Accra. Here's some of what they had to say.
It's going to boost our economy, it's going to create a lot of employment, it's going to develop the areas where the oils are going to be explored.
It depends on our leaders, because the poor man on the street doesn't know anything about the oil, how to go about it. So our leaders must do the investment right.
Malaysia had years in 1960 and now they are making it big time in the world. So we want to see the same thing happening to Ghana.
Where the oil is really discovered, it's not developed. So it tends to rebellism and others. I can take Somalia and Sudan, for instance. They are all oil countries, but this problem do exist there. So I'm really, really apprehensive about what our government will do about it.
Now that's what ordinary people have to say. I've been to Takoradi in the western region of Ghana to find out more about the source of all this excitement. Off Ghana's coast, drilling has begun. It's a $4.6 billion project, a figure larger than the annual GDP. Despite the potential revenue windfall from the oil expected late next year, the extraction costs now are enormous. This rig has a running cost of $1 million a day, one of 3 operating in this field. We're cruising 500 meters above the Atlantic. Eric the Red is the Norwegian vessel that's drilling 3.5 kilometers below the surface, trying to bring that oil up and into Ghana's economy. Now when we get there, we'll be speaking to the man who's been entrusted with protecting Ghana's national interest in the oil business.
All right.
Hello, Thomas.
Welcome to the rig.
Thank you very much.
Good.
I can see you have a big operation going on right now.
Yes.
What's this about?
We are taking off supplies from the Takoradi, the main shore base, onto the rig.
Okay.
This is where the drilling is taking place. And they are now, when they get to the floor here, this whole machine will move to the side and pick one of the pipes and then screw it on top.
Now, Thomas Meno, you are the Director of Operations for the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, which is the government's key agency in the search for oil here. First of all, how significant is this Jubilee field to Ghana's goal of becoming a major oil producer?
The Jubilee field is very important. It's very significant find. It was discovered in 2007. It contains well over 1 billion barrels of oil on the basis of what appraisal work we've done so far. We are very hopeful that this figure could go up to about 1.5 billion barrels. And we will start production next year with 120,000 barrels a day. And within 2 or 3 years, step it up to about 240,000 barrels a day. The maximum production that we've ever had is about 4,000 barrels a day. And now going to produce about 120,000 barrels a day is going to have a lot of impact on the economy and the GDP of the country.
Many people remain skeptical about just how much of this oil is going to come to Ghana. Break it down for us. For example, per barrel, what comes to the government of Ghana?
At the end of the day, and if you calculate it based on the current production figures or the anticipated production figures, Ghana will benefit 55% of the net oil.
Yeah, but as you know, expectations in Ghana are high. People are expecting a new wave of jobs, a new wave of opportunities. I mean, I've been around this rig and I've seen maybe 100 or 200 men working here. For the man or woman in the street in Takoradi or in Accra, that's pretty insignificant.
Yes, there are not many job opportunities, but then if we begin to build the capacity, then all the engineers, all the experts you see here, their places will be taken up by Ghanaians. But more importantly, if the revenues are well managed, it's going to have a huge impact on the GDP and the economic growth of the country. And then the services sector, there is a law in Ghana that requires the use of local resources both human resources, services, and resources to develop the oil industry. So if you prosecute this law very well, there will be a lot of benefit that will come to the country.
Now, you must concede that Africa's experience with oil has not been good. Look at Nigeria just next door. How confident are you that we're not going to see a repeat of that situation here in Ghana? I'm
very confident that Ghana will be different from the next door neighbor. There are very good structures in place through the exploration and production law, through the GMPC law, and then through the various mechanisms that have been set up to manage the development of this field.
Many Ghanaians believe that 10 years from now, because of this find and others like it, Ghana will become like Singapore or Malaysia or South Korea. Do you really think that's possible?
Yeah, clearly I believe that it's quite possible. If GMPC, as the state agency mandated to manage these natural resources, is not able to make a find, make an impact on Ghanaians, then we would have failed in our duty. And I'm very happy that the President of the nation always talks about making the oil discovery a blessing and not a curse. And it is up to us, GMPC, to manage it in such a way that it will have the desired impact on the lives of Ghanaians.
Welcome to part 2 of Africa Business Reports, coming to you this month from Accra, Ghana. But here in Accra, for the average Ghanaian, finding quality healthcare is always a challenge. And that's ironic because the private healthcare services are doing big business and attracting health tourists from across Africa. So where does this leave the man or woman in the streets? Egon Kosu has been investigating.
Tranquility, a waterfront view, and what about a spot of minor surgery or colonic irrigation?
Welcome to Holy Trinity Spa.
Well, it's all on offer here. This spa on the banks of the River Volta is run by the private Holy Trinity Hospital in nearby Accra. It aims to become a major tourist attraction by combining the amenities of a luxury resort with a wide range of medical screening and treatments. It prides itself on its holistic approach. Now, believe it or not, this is an important marketing tool in attracting hundreds of health tourists to this facility every year. This gentleman is undergoing what's known as bamboo massage. Over here, we have somebody who's undergoing hot stone massage. Now, if you come with me this way, we get to hydrotherapy, where people are treated by water of things like stress and all sorts of aches and pains. It's known here as the supersonic wave bubbling massage bath. And for obvious reasons, it's rather popular. In fact, the idea of combining healthcare with a vacation seems to be catching on.
I've had full blood work here, ECG. I've had my kidney checked, liver, stress therapy, relaxation, sleep relaxation, detoxification of the body. This is my 4th week, so I've gone through quite several of the facilities.
Why did you come all the way here from Lagos?
Honestly, I couldn't find one in Lagos, and I was doing a research. I was trying to take a vacation, quiet place, and I was thinking of, I didn't know it would be within Africa. So when I came across it, I was like actually surprised.
But it's not all about complementary health and preventative measures. The hospital's headquarters in Accra offers a wider range of more traditional services. Now, this is a key part of the business of Holy Trinity Hospital. People come here for cosmetic and orthopedic surgery, but the hospital really plans to expand its suite of surgical services to attract even more international clients. But let's not kid ourselves. These facilities are way beyond the reach of most Ghanaians who struggle to get access to even the most basic of medical care. And that's got some people worried.
The ordinary people who should have access to the already hard-pressed facilities are not getting access to these facilities because of tourists who are coming to access the facilities, or who are coming to compete with them in the access of these already hard-pressed facilities.
Perhaps not surprisingly, the boss of Holy Trinity disagrees. He thinks well-heeled foreign visitors could be an important source of foreign revenue for the country as a whole.
With the influx of the foreign exchange that comes into the country, we will be able to enhance our health service institutions, and we'll also be able to enhance conditions of service of our workers in the health service structure and the supporting structures. We shall be able to attract to stop the brain drain.
He employs mainly Western-trained doctors and says relatively high standards and low costs means medical tourism in Ghana should take its place alongside other forms of tourism, with tax breaks to match. But attracting foreign patients and caring for the ordinary person still poses a delicate balancing act between the haves and the have-nots. Egon Kosu, Africa Business Report, Sugar Coffee in Ghana.
Or how to go about it. So our leaders must do the investment right.
Malaysia had yes in 1960, and now they are making it big time in the world. So we want to see the same thing happening to Ghana.
Where the oil is really discovered, it's not developed. So it tends to rebellism and others. I can take.
Welcome to Africa Business Reports with me, Komla Dumor. Each month we bring you the biggest stories and the hottest individuals doing business across this great continent. This month we're in my hometown. Welcome to our hot and humid Accra, Ghana. Now I'm standing in front of the Independence Square, which is the traditional home of national celebrations. And there is a real sense of celebration in Ghana right now. Now it's oil, but will the black gold live up to expectation? I've been finding out from ordinary people on the streets of Accra. Here's some of what they had to say.
It's going to boost our economy, it's going to create a lot of employment, it's going to develop the areas where the oils are going to be explored.
It depends on our leaders, because the poor man on the street doesn't know anything about the oil.
Following the discovery of commercial quantities of oil in the western region of Ghana. But will the black gold really transform the destiny of the Black Star Nation? This is Osu, one of the exciting business districts in the Ghanaian capital, Accra. There's a lot of buying and selling going on, real excitement. You can feel the energy. But the word on the lips of every Ghanaian man and woman, right?
Somalia and Sudan, for instance, they are all oil countries. But this problem do exist there. So I'm really, really apprehensive about what our government will do about it.
Now that's what ordinary people have to say. I've been to Takoradi in the western region of Ghana to find out more about the source of all this excitement.